and Mandy's Big Boogie Adventure, Wrath of the Spider Queen feels less like a full movie and more like a slightly extended episode of the show. It runs about 45 minutes, but the structure and scale of the story are basically the same kind of weird supernatural chaos the show did every week. It's entertaining enough if you already like the series, but it never really feels like a big event. The story begins when Billy encounters a strange spider who insists that Billy is his father. The spider has somehow convinced himself that Billy is his dad, and immediately becomes desperate to win Billy's approval and love. Billy, meanwhile, is completely horrified by this idea, and spends most of the episode trying to reject the spider as aggressively as possible. That dynamic becomes the central running joke. The spider wants nothing more to impress Billy and make him proud, while Billy wants absolutely nothing to do with him. While this bizarre father-son situation is unfolding, the real threat emerges. The spider turns out to be connected to the Spider Queen, a powerful and ancient villain who also happens to have a history with Grimm. Like the Boogeyman in the Big Boogie Adventure, she's another enemy from Grimm's supernatural past who has returned to cause trouble. Her goal is to unleash her spider army and spread chaos, with Billy's self-proclaimed son caught in the middle of the conflict. This leads to the familiar Grimm versus villainous pass-it-up that the show uses a lot. Grimm knows exactly how dangerous the Spider Queen is, while Billy and Amy mostly treat the situation like another inconvenience in their already bizarre lives. Meanwhile, the spider keeps trying to impress Billy by doing increasingly ridiculous and destructive things in hopes that Billy will finally acknowledge him as his son. Watching it, the whole Spider Queen storyline strangely reminded me of the Racnoss Queen episode from Doctor Who. Both involve a giant spider queen trying to bring about some kind of spider uprising. Obviously, though, the tones are wildly different. Doctor Who plays it like a cheesy B-movie sci-fi horror, while Billy and Mandy treats it like absurd comedy. But the similarities are kind of funny once you notice them. Another thing that stands out is how the series keeps returning to the skeleton versus the boogeyman type of imagery. Grimm constantly seems to be fighting creepy supernatural rivals like the boogeyman or the Spider Queen. It almost feels like a cartoon version of The Nightmare Before Christmas. The Skeletal Reaper constantly battling other Halloween-style monsters. Where the special works best is random gag humor and cartoon references. The show loved throwing in quick parodies of older cartoons, and there are moments here that feel like little nods to things like the Flintstones or other classic Hanna-Barbera style jokes. Those little gags are some of the funniest parts of the special. The problem, though, is the plot just isn't strong enough to justify the 45-minute runtime. The central joke, the spider desperately trying to win Billy's approval while Billy rejects him, works well for a while, but it doesn't really evolve into anything bigger. It feels like a premise that would have been perfectly fine for a normal 22-minute episode, but stretching it to double that length makes parts of the story feel padded. That's really the biggest issue here. Like a lot of Cartoon Network movie specials from that era, that doesn't actually scale up the story in a meaningful way. It just feels like two episodes edited together. It's still funny, and fans of the show will enjoy seeing the characters in another bizarre supernatural situation, but it never feels like a true event movie. In the end, Wrath of the Spider Queen is enjoyable enough if you already like the show, but it definitely feels like something that would have worked better as a normal episode rather than a 45-minute special. For me, it gets a C, a 7 out of 10, and a 3 out of 5 stars.